and welcome back to my channel. I'm Lisa Blinda, and on this channel I help conscious glow-getters just like you navigate the beauty and wellness jungle. In today's video we are doing this glamorous, sparkly, festive Christmas makeup look. This look is perfect for any Christmas parties, or there might not be a lot of those this year. I don't know how the situation is looking in your country, but all the office Christmas parties have been cancelled in Denmark where I live, but I am still going to celebrate Christmas with my family. So I do still feel like there is an opportunity to glam up a little bit for this sparkly, glowing season. So if you want to see how I did this glowy, sparkly, golden, red lip Christmas look, then keep on watching. Alright, let's dive straight into the makeup. I have already prepped my face with the Wishful Honey Balm cream. This is actually a moisturizer, but I love using it as a primer. It smells lovely. It has this like very silicone-y kind of a texture. It smooths out the skin and really like plumps up the skin. I don't like using it as like an everyday moisturizer because I feel like it's maybe a little too much silicone for me. As a primer, it's really, really good. It gives you that glow without looking glittery or sparkly. It has a little bit of mica, so it gives a glow, but I feel like it doesn't emphasize pores, and it gives that smooth, plump skin. So skin is prepped, but I am going to also apply another primer. I have this just like a little tester. This one is from, I cannot say the name of this brand to save my life. Chantecaille. So this is the Ultra Sun Protection SPF 45 Anti-Glycation Primer, because I will not be using any foundation with SPF today, so this way I will get some sun protection. This is one of those brands that I've just really been curious about. It's like, oh, okay, this is quite loose in the texture. Smells good. Usually I'm not so much for fragrance in products, but it smells quite natural. It smells like roses. It has like a very kind of slippery feel to it. Not sure what I feel about the scent. I'm a little bit sensitive to scents also now that I'm pregnant, but okay, my face looks a little red, but I also have skin that just reacts to touch. So as soon as I like touch my skin, it gets red. But the feeling is really nice. I do feel like it really smoothed out my skin even more. And we'll see how makeup applied on top. So I'm actually going to, I can see that I have a little bit of dark circles today. I mean, actually most days I have dark circles, but I feel like they're a little bit more in your face today. So I am going to try to color correct that a little bit. I have this color corrector from Second Skin Corrector from 100% Pure. This is the shade Peach. It's not like super pink, but it's like too pink to be a concealer. So I've been using this a couple of times. I really like it. It has the same texture as their Second Skin concealer. I like that the color is not too pink, because some of these correctors, it's like the color is so intense that it can be a little bit difficult to work with, but this is like almost skin tone, but like more peachy. So I'm just gonna dab a little bit of that, not too much, because I am also applying concealer, so we don't want to layer too many products. Already there, I feel like I can see a difference. So of course, what's important when you're using a color corrector is you need to go on top with a concealer, because just using a color corrector, you're gonna look a little crazy. But this is just such a nice formula because it's so thin, it's blendable, it doesn't look cakey at all. And especially with a color corrector, since you are applying concealer foundation on top, you really don't want the color corrector to be cakey and too thick, because that's just gonna make layering other products really, really difficult. That is looking better. So today I'm actually not going to use any foundation because I have ordered some new foundation, some new products that I want to try out, but it has not arrived yet. So you guys know I love the ILIA skin tint, but I've used that in like all my previous videos, so I don't want to go in with the same foundation. So I'm just going to use concealer today, and this is actually also a hack that I like using. I'm going to apply concealer not all over my face, but like just where I need to, and then completely skip the foundation. This is great if you want just like more natural looking skin. But when you are doing that, I think it's important to prep your skin first, like I did today, because you really want like a nice base so that the concealer can really blend in on your skin and you don't get like patches. So my skin feels really like silky and like a little bit tacky, so I think we have the perfect base. So I'm going to mix two concealers, the ILIA True Skin Serum Concealer and the Hourglass Vanish Airbrush Concealer. The Hourglass is way more full coverage, but using that on its own is almost like a little too much for me, so I will just be mixing it on my hand with the ILIA. I feel like those two together make like the perfect combo, the perfect coverage. And then I'm going to apply that with a damp beauty sponge. This one is from Róen, my all-time favorite brand when it comes to brushes and makeup tools. All right, let's get the hair out of my face. And then I'm gonna start by just dabbing the concealer. And I'm definitely applying more than I normally would if I was using concealer and foundation. But today I really want a little bit more of a full coverage look, and I really want the makeup to stay because this is intended for like Christmas parties or Christmas Eve, whenever you want to look glamorous, and then you kind of want your makeup to last as long as possible. But also don't overdo it. It's better to apply sparingly at first and then build it up. Okay, now I'm going to go in with only the ILIA concealer. This one is first of all more lighter in the texture than the Hourglass one, and not as full coverage, but it's also a bit lighter in the shade. So I'm going to use this one under my eyes and just brighten up a little bit. Okay, that is looking nice and blended. And now I'm going to contour slash bronze a little bit using the KOSAS Color and Light Cream in the shade Tropic Equinox. So this shade right here I find is perfect for contouring on my pale skin. So we're just gonna use, actually I'm gonna keep using the beauty blender. I'm gonna start by applying it with my finger. What I really like about this product is that it's so easy to work with and it's easy to build up. I feel like the pigmentation isn't too intense, so it's really easy to work with. It's kind of hard to mess it up or overdo it with this product. I'm also going to contour my nose a little bit. I will just be using my finger for that at first. And then I'm going to blend it out with the beauty blender. And today I'm actually going to use a powder blush. I know, crazy. I always reached for a cream blush. I don't remember last time I reached for a powder blush, but I felt like, why not? But because I'm going to use a powder blush, I will powder my face before. So for that, I'm going to use two different products from Hourglass. First off, the Veil Translucent Setting Powder, and then I'm going to use a little bit of the Ambient Lighting Powder. And usually I would go maybe for a little bit more of a mattifying powder. Both of these have more like a luminous finish. This one, the Ambient, is even more luminous. This one is still like intended to use like to set your makeup with, but it's not sparkly or glittery, it's more luminous. And normally I wouldn't go for that like in the T-zone, but because we used concealer as our only base today, and especially the Hourglass concealer, it dries down quite fast and almost like you don't need to powder on top of this concealer because it just has that dry down where it doesn't look greasy or anything. But I still want some powder, but for that reason I'm going to be using a more luminous powder. Alright, I'm going to be using this smaller powder brush. Do not know where it's from because I've had it forever and the brand name is off. So I'm going to start under the eyes. And then on my cheek area and just where I want like a little bit more of a glow, I will dip into the Ambient. I have the shade Dim Light. And this is definitely not a highlighter. Like it is still a powder, like a finishing powder, but it just has more luminosity. So I wouldn't necessarily use this one in the T-zone. Now let's dip into our blush. So I have this one from Estelle and Thild. This is the Biomineral Fresh Glow Satin Blush in the shade Dusty Rose. Now it's been a while since I used this one, but if I remember correctly, it is quite pigmented. I'm going to dip in with this slanted blush brush from Róen and tap it off. Alright, let's see. This is such a gorgeous shade, and it has like a little bit of a luminosity to it as well. I wouldn't say glitter, just a little bit of a sheen. And the color, whoa, okay. That's intense. Yeah, you have to be kind of careful so you don't overdo it with this blush. It does blend out nicely though. But I love this shade. It just has this like, I mean, this dusty rose color. It just reminds me of like being out in a cold winter day, out in the snow, and then you just get this natural flush. Okay, I'm gonna take a clean brush. Actually, I'll take this side of the powder brush because it's clean, and I'm gonna use that just kind of fade the color a little bit so it's not too intense. There we go. And for highlighter, I'm going to be using this amazing product again that I used in an earlier video not too long ago. The RMS Living Glow Face and Body Powder. I am still obsessed with this. So I'm gonna go in with this highlighting brush from Róen. This just gives the most gorgeous glow, perfect for Christmas. I'm obsessed. Maybe I went in a little too hard. It's gonna fade that out a little bit as well. I feel like having just a clean brush to kind of blend out and fade any harshness is just a super easy trick to get like perfectly blended makeup. All right, let's move on to the eyes. I'm gonna zoom you guys in a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so for the eyes, I want to do something sparkly and golden. So before we dip into eyeshadow, I'm going to go in with my KOSAS concealer as an eyeshadow base. You guys know I love this concealer as an eyeshadow base. If you haven't tried it, please try it. It's so good. In my opinion, it's better than any other eyeshadow base that I've tried because it has like the perfect sticky consistency. And today I want to do something golden and sparkly, but first I'm going to dip in my Kjær Weis Eyeshadow in the shade Magnetic, this perfect earthy brown, just to give some definition to my eyes. So I'm dipping in with this blending brush. I'm just packing that on the outer edge, and then I'm gonna blend that up in the crease. And when I do my eyeshadow, I usually use like 2 different eyeshadows, maybe 3, but I feel like when I watch other videos, it's almost like a game on who can use the most shades. I don't feel like that's necessary. In my opinion, I think it usually looks more flattering to not have too many different shades on your eye, but that's just me. And then I'm just gonna go in with a clean brush just to fade this out a little bit more. And now we're gonna dip into the glitter. I have this gorgeous shadow from Róen Beauty. This is one of their single shadows in the shade Summer Disco. You guys, this one is so stunning. I'm obsessed with all the Róen eyeshadows, but this one is just perfect. So I'm just gonna apply this with my finger. Like all the other Róen eyeshadows, this one is like a cream, but a very hard cream. And I'm just gonna apply that on the center of my lid, but then also fade it out on like the, what do you call it, like the eye globe. So on the inner portion of the eyelid to the middle. That is so sparkly. I'm going to apply a little bit more in the center, just get some more intensity there. I mean, look at that golden sparkle. I'm just obsessed. It does have a little bit of glitter fallout, so I'm just gonna remove that. And I will do the same thing on the other eye. I also feel like the Róen shadows kind of adapt to like the climate. In the summer, they are actually more easy to work with, but now it's so cold in here in my office. I feel like they get like a little bit harder, so it is a little bit more difficult to apply than it usually is, but I don't mind. I still love these eyeshadows so much. They honestly give you the effect of using loose glitter without needing to use loose glitter, because that can be a little bit scary with getting glitter in your eye and having to use the glue and all of that, so I always find that a little bit too intimidating. This is like the perfect alternative because it does, of course it falls down a little bit, but it's not at all like a loose glitter, but it still gives that intense glitter effect. I'm gonna go in with this fluffy eyeshadow brush again and just blending this out a little bit. Alright, let's do mascara. I'm going to start by bending my lashes, then we're going to use my new favorite mascara, the Fullest Volumizing Mascara from ILIA. I raved about this in a previous video and I have been obsessed with it ever since. Okay, let's apply this beauty. This is like the perfect mascara when you want those va-va-voom lashes without the clumpiness. I mean, do you see the difference? Va-voom! There we go. The lashes are looking voluminous. That's not how I say it. Lashes are on point. Now I'm just gonna do my brows off camera because I don't have any new fun product to show you on the brows. So I'm just gonna get that over with and then I'll be right back for lips. Okay, brows are done and it's time for the lips. My lips are still cracked and dry, but they are feeling better. I do feel like the ILIA lip mask that I talked about in a previous video is actually really helping. So I'm gonna start just by scrubbing my lips a little bit, just getting some dead skin off and get the circulation going. And of course, because it's Christmas, I have to do a red lip. I mean, can there be Christmas without a red lip? Probably, but I want a red lip. I'm going to use this amazing lipstick from KOSAS in the shade Thrillist. Actually, I haven't used this since summer, so I'm excited. I don't have a red lip liner, so wish me luck. I am going to try and perfect this a little bit with a lip brush. Alright, the lipstick is on. I'm just going to fix that little mess up I did right here with a little bit of concealer. And I'm going to take this concealer brush and apply a little bit of concealer here. Alright, this Christmas look is done and I'm honestly loving it. I feel super glamorous. I feel a little bit old school in the best way. I usually don't go for a red lip, but I should do it more often. I like it. This, in my opinion, is the perfect look for Christmas. I know that the world is looking a little different this year and maybe you're not going to be able to go to any Christmas parties, but even if you're just spending Christmas with your roommates or your husband or wife or girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever, I still encourage you to glam up a little bit because it does make you feel good. It does give a little bit extra Christmas vibe when you go the extra mile and just match the season of sparkle. So I will definitely be copying this look on Christmas Eve when I'm going to see my family in Sweden. Hopefully. Pray for me. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Please let me know in the comments what you thought about this look and what your plans are for Christmas. I wish you an amazing day. I will see you in the next video, and until then, as always, stay glowing.